Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be installing a Grant steering wheel. So this is the process. Alright guys, so first remember to disconnect the battery. You guys have to leave it for at least 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that it's fully off. And then we're gonna start off by taking from the back, clicking it like with the little hole that's supposed to be right there. Right there, and it will automatically just come off. You might need a little bit of use a little bit of force, and make sure to disconnect the cables. Both cables have to be taken off, and then it's fully apart. Make sure it's facing up, to make it safely. And so you guys also have to get the one that's connected to the both red cables and twist it counterclockwise, and it will come out. Make sure the little spring doesn't come off. Then you're going to take off the harness, the black plastic part. You may need to use a flathead, or you could also just use something small. You may struggle, but it should be able to come off. Okay, so we finally got it off. You may just need a little bit of pulling off. Make sure they're out of the way, and you're going to. Alright, so next you're gonna have to take off the goldish bolt. Alright, so the size that you're gonna use to take off the goldish bolt is gonna be 7/8. Once you start it, you can kind of like just take it off with your hand. Now you just have to like try pulling it off, wiggle it out. It may be a little bit hard, but alright, so you guys just have to like wiggle it off. It might take a little while, but alright, so now you guys just have to take it off. And all the little cables should come out, and you're supposed to end up here to take off the 2 bolts that are on the side, and the lid should just come right off that little plastic. And alright, so you guys are gonna have to get rid of all 4 bolts to get the horn onto the new steering wheel. Okay, so now we finally got one side off. And it should come off with the springs from the bottom. Okay, so now we have placed them on both sides of the new steering wheel. We got it off the other one, and you just have to bolt it back on the same way it was on the first one, and bolt all 4. Make sure they're tightly on. Okay guys, so we just bolted them on. Also, you have to make sure that they're not too tight. You have to have a little movement. Okay, so now you have to take off the harness, all the buttons that are on the steering wheel. Through the back, you have to push it gently and wiggle them out so that they don't break or don't get damaged. And you have to push it through this little hole right here. Come off, you have to unclip them. And there you go, that's the first button. Okay, so once you have took it off, all the buttons off, now you have to turn it around and take off the wires through the back. Just pull them off carefully and gently. Okay, so now that you take off all the buttons, now the steering wheel should be ready. And now you just have to reassemble those wires back onto the new steering wheel. You have to install them back in through the same hole, like if you were just putting it in the same way. Okay, so once you click back the buttons the same way, you just try to push them back in where they go. Now you just do that to all the 4 buttons. Click them back in. It's just the same process. Alright, so now all 4 buttons are connected, and now we have to just reconnect it to the base. Bolt on back the plastic and re-screw it on. Put on both bolts, on both sides. Now you just have to put on back the cables in through the same hole, the steering wheel, and place it back onto the big bolt that's in the middle. And push it back in. Make sure it's stiffly in all the way. You just put back in the bolt and tighten it. Now you just connect the harness back onto the same place. Clip it back on. That little bolt, you just connect it back into the same hole. And now it's all in. Now the bead, you just put it back into the hole. And now twist it clockwise. Now it should just stay still. Once it on right, you should just stay still. And now you just gotta add back on the honk. Color coordinated onto the thing, and you just have to plug them back in. Both. Make sure they're tightly on. Now you just push it back in.
Hey, you're taking care of the girls. I don't have any.
And it's back in.